Village of Union City, Ohio, for August the 5th, 2025. We'll open with a word of prayer.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Guide us in our decisions with all people in mind for our betterment of our community. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. We'll rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Shannon Tetra.
Here.
Ron Reamer.
Here.
Eric Kress.
Here.
Eddie Lane. Homer Stalman.
Present.
David Wogman.
Here.
Make a motion to excuse Eddie Lane.
Second.
Ron Reamer.
Yes.
Eric Kress.
Yes.
Homer Stalman.
Yes.
David Wogman.
Yes.
Shannon Tetra.
Yes.
Motion for consent of the agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Eric Kress.
Yes.
Homer Stalman.
Yes.
David Wogman.
Yes.
Shannon Tetra.
Yes.
Ron Reamer.
Yes.
Okay, next portion is for the village citizens.
My name is Bradley Horsley. I live down on 180 Peppermint. I'm here to address council about the disconnect on the 20th of the month. I feel that you're in error and in violation of the administrative code, the Ohio Administrative Code. The Ohio Administrative Code, rule number 4901, 1-15-27 states, for non-payment of any tariff charges when due or with any additional period for payment permitted by the company, being the count or the village, or for not making a deposit as required, disconnection of the service for non-payment may not occur prior to 14 days after the due date. That would put us the 29th. So we were in violation of this when I was on council because we.
This goes back several years.
Yes. It also states, and we've got somebody here to speak more on it than me.
Okay.
But it also states on and through, a waterworks company or sewage disposal system company complying with the conditions set forth in this rule may disconnect service during its normal business hours as stated in its tariff. However, no disconnect for past due bills or for not making a deposit as required may be made after 12:30 p.m. So there's no disconnects after 12:30. That gives people ample time to get down here and whatever.
In the morning.
It says, on the day of the disconnect of service, the company shall provide the customer with personal notice. If the customer is not home, the company shall provide personal notice to an adult consumer. If neither the customer nor adult consumer is at home, the company shall attach a written notice to the premises in a conspicuous location prior to disconnecting services. Those company employees or agent who disconnect services at these premises may or may not, at the discretion of the company, be authorized to make extended payment arrangements. The company employees or agents who disconnect services shall be authorized to complete one of the following: accept payment in lieu of termination, dispatch an employee to the premises to accept payment, or make available to the customer a means to avoid disconnection. At this point, I would say the council who voted to pass this should rescind the ordinance or resolutions that was made for this and rescind it. And that's all I've got. So.
Okay. Can you get me a copy of that?
I'll give you that one.
Okay, thanks, Brad.
Yeah, and my name is Brittany Johns. I'm on 112 East Carmel Street. I want to kind of piggyback off of that. I also looked into that administrative code a little backstory. I was personally affected last
Okay.
month. My water was shut off on the 24th for non-payment. A few days later, I got in the mail my bill ripped in half. That never came to me. I received no notice. There's nothing written, no written notice when I got home from work as to why my water was shut off. I had to go ask my neighbor what was going on, if he had water. He did. I called the emergency line. They told me that my water was turned off on the 24th because there were limited hours on the 25th, which was a Friday, I believe. So I ended up having to have a family member go during the 2 hours that the office was open to make sure that it was paid, so that I could get my water turned off for the week, or back on before the weekend. Again, I received the bill several days later because they couldn't find the other half of it when it was destroyed by the Postal Service. I think that the intention of the statute is to allow for a 14-day period in case there are issues with mail, with obviously individuals who may have issues trying to pay the water bill. It's clear that the statute allows for least restrictive means. I mean, you have to give individuals the opportunity to be able to try to make the payment the day that it's disconnected. You have to give written notice. You know, in my case, nobody tried to contact me. No one left a note on my door. I didn't have the physical bill. And like Mr. Horsley said, I think that there is a 14-day requirement. I think it's 14 days from the date it's due, which should be the 14th, in order to turn it off. I also think, it really is a violation of due process. I found case law that states that, pursuant to local ordinances where there were certain cases where local ordinances may conflict with state regulations, it still requires that due process be protected. That individuals, still have the opportunity to remedy the issue, which is non-payment, or, in some cases maybe fraud, whatever it may be, when they get their water turned off. But you still have to give the individual that right. So I would agree with Mr. Horsley. I think it's problematic. I think that you're opening yourselves up to liability and issues down the road if it's not remedied.
Okay, and how was your case? How was your particular instance
This was 2 weeks ago.
resolved? How did you get, was it resolved?
Yeah, like I said, the next day on Friday, I had a family member go up in person to pay it. I had to obviously call to find out what I owed because I didn't have a bill. It was paid, it was turned back on that Friday, but I have a 13-month-old baby. So that night, I got home from work. I didn't get home until 5 o'clock. It was definitely turned off afternoon because my significant other was there at lunch. The water was on. He comes home, or I come home from work, it's turned off. So I had to take my baby to my parents' house because I didn't have water for the evening. Which was frustrating, and also, like I said, I think it's a clear violation of the administrative code, which even if you can have an ordinance that differs from the administrative code, it can't be less restrictive and it can't violate the Constitution of Ohio. You have to protect due process. So I do think it's problematic.
Okay. I think at this point, we just have Chance we'll pull the ordinance that we passed for that water termination or the water service.
All that was modified was we just backed it up to accommodate for the delay of the postal service. So
Yeah.
the length of time between the due date and the shut off is the same, but we'll navigate that.
Okay.
He contacted the office the other day, I already got a hold of Gassy and switched it back for the next month.
Okay.
Do we provide written notice?
Do we provide written notice? I don't think they ever have.
So we need
To be
to.
a problem then.
We used to receive a past due bill that would actually state Because I've actually went over the 15th and because Dom is not paying any attention. But I actually received a card that said past due, you know, and this is what you owe. I know the lady 2 doors down, she was gone, her mother was home, her mother didn't realize that the bill was due. And she never received any past due bills, they just shut her off.
Like I said, we'll get Chance involved in that, and we'll have resolution for the next meeting.
I think we need to come up with a solution of written notices and stuff, because I know myself have not got water bills on time anymore because of the mail, so it is an issue,
Yeah, the mail's an issue, period.
yes. So, I'm in agreement, we need to do something.
Brad's probably in agreement. Do you drop your mail off at Greenville or up here?
Greenville.
That's where I drop mine. So,
That's where I take the water bills.
We just celebrated our 250th year
hey,
here.
hey.
Just fine.
About time.
Yeah. Well, I know
You
we
won't go
take
there.
water bills to Greenville to get them mailed out, back over to here, but it's once they arrive here, they're still an issue. They're still an issue. So, okay. We'll have a resolution. Or
I mean, it's
have
simple. We can get some
something
notices fixed
they-
where all we gotta do is put their address on it and how much is owed.
Can you send
It
it
could
over?
all be the
Yeah.
same writing. All it's gotta do is be a form, make it yellow or blue or something. You can stick it right on the door handle.
Hey, we're gonna shut,
Huh?
we're gonna be here tomorrow, shut it off. We ain't paying it.
Okay.
Those days and terms, they've been set for decades.
Any other village citizens? Okay,
My name is Matt Fletter.
yeah,
I was here a while back. I had to take myself some notes, but thank you for taking the time to hear me out. I tried to come a little more prepared this time. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to say my piece. At the last meeting, I was told that letters would be sent to all the neighbors. Has there been any responses? Mr. Rush, you tell me I might live there for 5 or 6 years and then sell it. Well, yeah, this is still America. We all know that we can live anywhere we want. You mentioned you were concerned that the house might get junky looking and run down. After hearing that, now as I drive around the streets and go up and down the alleys, I see many, many run-down, junky-looking houses with lots of junk. The house right across the street from me has been empty for over 20 years, and it's junky looking. The house behind me is a major ghetto. There's a black pickup truck a half a block away, sitting on the street with flat tires and junk inside so thick no person could fit in there. It's been sitting there for at least 2 years. My house is actually a better looking building than most, I don't know, I can't say most, but most of the buildings. And you're more than welcome to come by anytime and see for yourself how it could easily be made into a duplex. Like I'm guessing 50% of the houses in this town are rentals and duplexes. At our first meeting, I started to compare this to the one-car garage that's 2 blocks north of me, and Homer interrupted me and said, "We're not talking about that house, we're talking about your house." Well, that one-car garage was made into a little house, and I guess it got approved. But okay, when you compare it to that, my house stands out like a diamond in the rough. I've invested a lot of time and money into that house. I'm not gonna let it go downhill. It would seem that if you're concerned about Union City, there are many places that would be 10 times more of a concern than my house. Can there be any exception to the zoning? I know I'm repeating myself, but you're more than welcome to stop by and see for yourself how big and roomy it is. After our first meeting, I actually had numerous people drive by, see me working outside, and stop, and they said they were on my side. I would still like to have the option to make it into a duplex. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. So once again, thank you for letting me say my piece.
We'd have to inspect that, Steve, before we would go to zoning change.
I've met with Mr. Leonard and done a walkthrough through the building. It does have potential to be turned into a rather large duplex. You know, I encouraged him to, and I told him that I would help him. We need to sit down and come up with some plans that can be presented so that you guys have a visual. So we, you know, based on what the plan ends up being, what the layout looks like, I think then we can make an educated decision.
Once you get that together, then we can look at it and possibly mail letters out to all the neighbors concerning it. and
Again,
get
see if we
change.
get a response.
Yep.
But
I don't think.
they were supposed to have done that after the
Exactly.
last meeting.
Letters were supposed to have been sent.
Did they get sent?
Yeah.
But no responses.
No, I never got anything for public hearings. I
So
had,
then there was no objection to it.
I
Yeah.
talked to the lady next door, she said she never forgot.
I'd say just bring in the prints on what you're gonna do, because if we were gonna build an apartment complex, we'd wanna see the same thing. Just show us what you wanna do, and then we'll talk to the zoning board.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Wait till the next meeting.
Yeah, whenever you got when you get it drew up, what you wanna do, just kinda like
Get
rough
with Steve
sketch.
and get a drawing put together, and Steve can bring it up. It doesn't have to wait till the next meeting. He can bring it up, but it wouldn't be voted on till the next meeting. And we can't change the zoning until we go to the zoning board.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you. Okay to go now?
Any luck selling your Jeep?
I'm sorry?
Any luck selling your Jeep? You got
Well, a
parked
lady
in
came by
front?
today and said she was supposed to call me tonight, and she wants it.
It'd probably look a little nicer if it was parked on the side street instead of like
Well, I
up
ju-
between the sidewalk and the house.
I just thought there was more
The
traffic.
front yard.
Mhm.
I understand, but
But the tub's gone, somebody got that tub. Well, thank you for
Okay.
hearing me out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next.
anybody else?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
Levi. I guess last meeting, you obviously I saw online that everyone had some things to say with some equipment sitting out at the house. That obviously, as most of you know, the lease has been signed for me to park dump truck and skid steer across the road down here. And so, I guess I just coming here to, see if there's any issues. I guess I didn't know, who was gonna be here, so, just kind of coming here to see what's been said.
Okay. That's the lease agreement that I've got
I
here.
think that's what this is for, right?
We're over here on the corner.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get that signed and get you a copy of it. Unless there's objections from the council. I believe that's what was decided last meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
is he moving everything?
Is that?
Is he moving everything?
That I don't know. Levi, question was asked, are
Yes.
you moving everything over here to this corner?
No, I'm just moving the dump truck with the white trailer, the gooseneck, and then obviously any of the skid steers and the excavators, and then the fuel tanks will be gone once we get them drained, because I can't move them now, obviously, when they're full. But the Connex box and the black enclosed trailer, and obviously my truck and dump trailer will stay there, but all that gets parked in the driveway, so none of it's on the road.
You were agreeable with that?
I'm agreeable with that. He's assured us that he will move the fuel tank as soon as he gets it emptied to a point that it can be managed.
Okay.
And I've talked to the neighbors as well, so, we'll,
They picked up a copy of the
Proceed
lease agreement
forward.
today.
Okay. All right, thank you. Project updates.
I met with, Ohio Rural Development, today on the industrial park. They're more than excited to assist with the funding of the project. I still know nothing at all from Ohio Future Fund. That is almost like a unicorn for some reason. It's supposedly out there, but I can't get a yes or no. So I'm still working on that. I did do some research on the conversation from last meeting about what recovery is doing, what they're working on passing is the community reinvestment area. And we obviously would be eligible to do that as well. It would be legislation that you guys would pass. It would have to be approved by the state. And basically what it does is based on the parameters that the community establishes, you would be able to offer an abatement for investment, improvement, expansion, new construction on properties, both residential and commercial. What would be abated would be the improvement. So if you're currently paying, for example, $800 and you add a room to your house and your assessment goes from $800 to $950, what's abated for a 10-year period of time is the $150 increase on your property taxes.
So like if a guy comes in and he redoes his house siding and say he just cleans it up, makes it real nice, increases the property value, that would be abated?
The improvement.
The difference.
Right, yeah, that improvement,
Correct.
right. So if he's saying he's paying 7 now and say it goes up to 10 or 1,000 a year.
Now, I really like this idea because I think it's a legitimate conversation to have for any new businesses looking to come to town. I think it's a really positive thing for if we are able to start demoing some of these dilapidated homes and properties for
someone to build
infill,
on.
you know, things like that, because basically we would set a baseline value of the property with nothing on it, and then we would
And someone could build on
ultimately
it.
capture
Yeah.
the improvement of the property. It's very similar to a TIF. It's just specifically set aside for reinvestment in a blighted area.
Well, I personally think we need to get if we gotta do an ordinance or whatever, I think we need to move forward with
Now,
it.
if we go to, if we set it up to do 100%, and that's what was in the paper with Fort Recovery, that's what garnered all the press. If you go all the way to 100%, which I would recommend,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta get the school involved, and they have to sign off on it, because they would be short for that 10-year period of time, that improvement. They're not short on the baseline value of the property, they're just short on the improvement, like we would be short on the improvement.
Right.
But again, it's a conversation about playing the long game. You know, we're not in it for 10 years, we're in it for the next 100 years, so.
So would this be a question we'd have to go out and talk to the school board or what?
Yeah, once we draw up what we want, and get the basically the rules of what we're wanting to propose, then that's when we would do a presentation at the school board.
I personally think we need to move forward. I think, like, current situation, the school's setting pretty good from what I've heard. I haven't had a child out there in 10 years, but from what I'm hearing, you're old. Not as old as you, Hyatt. But from what I'm hearing, like, a lot of kids aren't even paying for lunches you know, like, there a lot of book fees are non-existent. So to me, it sounds like things are moving pretty good on their end, so maybe this would be something they'd be willing to work with us on.
Well, I'm more than happy to dive right into this.
I-
It sounds to me like it's a lot of paperwork on the front side. Once we have it submitted and the legislation passed, then it's gotta be approved by the state. So I can get Chance working on it right away.
Like the guy over
Get him-
here down the
yeah.
street, you know, he's fixing his house up. He's out there working it on all the time. I mean, I think we gotta incentivize these people to keep doing this. So if that's what it takes, I say we gotta move forward.
And I'm assuming you want to identify the entire community as a CRA.
Yes. like, and I don't even know if we can include some of the landlord rental properties in this,
No,
if we can,
it's all included.
because we want them to clean up their property. We want to fix it all up.
Yep, yep, it's all included.
And this way, everyone's got the same incentive to try.
Yep, I agree. I'll get the paperwork started.
At least get Fort Recoveries in front of Chance and let him model something that they can look at.
Will do.
Anything else?
Any word on the cats?
Not there
We
yet.
are working on some things through law enforcement, but it's probably going to be,
They're considered a predator animal, so you probably can't tag them.
yeah,
I know.
we're working on a plan to do some spay and neutering and things like that in the community, but it's probably.
Well,
one of the
I look at it like
things-
this, I don't own a cat, they defecate on my property, they're willing to be trapped and relocated. That's how I look at it, because I don't own one. And if it's your pet, it stays on your property. So I hope everybody heard this. That's how I feel, because my pets stay on my property. They don't free range. And it's an issue. You wouldn't believe the amount of people that stop at my house if I'm outside to tell me about the cat problem we have. If you want to own a cat and it's your pet, keep it in your house. I keep my dogs on my property.
Okay. Administrative reports, committee reports, nothing. Ordinances and resolutions. 2025-006. Before we even do anything with that, this was the ordinance regarding cannabis dispensary operations. Everybody was given that last meeting to take a look at. And the question on the table for tonight was, do you want it or do you not?
Make the motion accepted.
Is it an emergency, or are we gonna have to
But,
do
yeah.
3 readings?
Yeah, I'm just calling the council as far as, everybody had a copy of this to look it over and to get a feel, did we want them in there or not? If we don't, then we need to pass an ordinance.
I'll second it.
I'm not ready for a motion or a second.
Huh?
This is just to
I was
accept it
I'm wanting
into
a,
council.
sort of a head count, a vote. Do we want to proceed with
That's
this?
why we made
Yes.
a motion. That's why
Yes.
he seconded it.
Yes, I want to proceed.
To vote.
So you got 2 yeses.
Okay. Down here?
Yes.
I know where Eddie stood at the last meeting. He was
We don't get
against
tax
it.
revenue.
I know, they're still from other reasons, but.
Okay, so 2020 ordinance 2025-006. An ordinance prohibiting adult use cannabis dispensary operators within the village of Union City, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
So this needs passed as an emergency ordinance.
It is due September 29th.
I mean, I think that's a
So you-
stretch
you
over,
can
I mean,
have-
look, I'm
you
just saying
can-
it's a
you can-
overstretch of what an emergency constitutes.
No, I don't need an emergency.
Well, that's what you just said,
No.
in declaring an emergency.
Do you want it to be an emergency? You want it 3 readings?
I do 3 readings.
I think that way we give
Terrific.
people the chance to come in here and talk if they wanna talk.
Terrific.
Because technically, if we got till the 29th, it's not an emergency.
It's just how it was prompted to us when it was sent.
Right.
So, I will reread this. I will rescind, we're gonna rescind what I just read. Ordinance number 2025-06, an ordinance prohibiting adult use cannabis dispensary operators within the village of Union City, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. I need a motion to approve rescinding what I read first, and then we'll read it without the emergency.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Homer Spelman.
Yes.
David Wagaman.
Yes.
Cheyenne Tedrow.
Yes.
Ron Reimer.
Yes.
Eric Rust.
Yes.
Okay. First reading of ordinance number 2025-006, an ordinance prohibiting adult use cannabis dispensary operators within the village of Union City, Ohio. It's the first reading. I have two more. Okay. Old business. Got the first item up is taken care of. I'll sign this lease for Mr. Walker. The next item up wasn't discussed last meeting. The alley vacating of the alley down there for JAG nursing.
Did we send out those letters?
There's only one house.
Yeah, there was 4 houses, I think.
Four houses. They were all notified.
Well, the 4 addresses that were like on the Dark County website, it might have just been like do a double. I didn't even like know, but yeah, I did send it to the 4 addresses.
We agreed to it as long as there was no
Exception, yeah. But
Yeah, right.
Pam had already talked to them too, so.
Yeah, she did that before she really came in.
I think that was the same time that I sent Matt this letters too, though.
Did you have a
For
date on there for a
expansion.
public hearing
Yeah, I just wanted to come to the council meeting.
tonight?
No, the last meeting.
The last meeting, nobody showed. Okay, I'll follow up with Chance. I'll follow up with Chance on that on next steps, what we have to do officially. Okay, new business. I don't see anything on the agenda. Emergency business or ordinances. Call of the council.
So the guy that just spoke brought up a good point. And I've been complaining about it too, about the junk vehicles sitting on the roads. There's 2 on the corner down there across from Penny's and ain't moved in 8 months. He talked about this black truck, and I 100% agree with the man. And then he sat here and he, like, look at all these junk houses. You can't argue the fact that either with him. So my question is we're supposed to be getting all these rules, tickets are supposed to be given out. Is it happening? Why are them trucks still sit there? I see them all the time. And then the parking, like there's no wrong way parking. When did this happen? That needs enforced in my opinion. There's just things that we're and stop. Because I got tickets as a kid for parking on the wrong side of the street in my neighborhood. And now we're letting people park wherever they want, however they want. It needs to stop. And once we start straightening that up and start taking a little pride, then everybody's gonna start following along. But until that happens, without rules, we got chaos. And we're just allowing this to continue. It needs to stop. Them trucks need towed. That guy's black truck that ain't moved in 2 years needs towed. I mean, we gotta start taking a little more pride as a community. And I 100% agree with the man. I've been complaining about them 2 trucks on Melvin Ely for, I can't tell you how long. They don't move.
You said Melvin.
Or
You meant
South Division. Yeah.
South Division.
They ain't moved in almost 8 months to a year. Do they even run? The one's got 2 flat tires. Why are we still seeing this? And we allow it as a community. It's unacceptable.
I would like to see the issuance is what's been issued and how many times it's been issued to all this stuff.
So would I.
I mean, we hear it, but we're not seeing it, so I would like to see a list of all the citations he's issued.
I can get it in your hands.
Appreciate it.
100% agree with you, man. We can't
Paul
complain
Johnson,
about
Agree the
what
same
he
way.
wants to do and allow to keep
I mean, they have
continuing
cheap-
what's happening, just do it every day.
I had a junk vehicle towed years ago to Shams and had to pay, so I'm no different. It's been
I got a
many years
ticket
ago.
washing my car because the bumper was sitting 6 inches over the sidewalk, and the ticket said blocking, impeding public traffic, pedestrian traffic. Washing my car in my front yard.
That's what they have a car wash for.
Well, that's not the
The
point.
way.
The point is, we went from there to this.
Yeah.
That's going backwards.
That was a personal thing, that was just you.
It probably was, because I know the cop that did it, but that ain't the point.
Don't you know
Yeah.
them all?
But
I also have a problem when you point something out to somebody and then it escalates.
well, it happens
They
all the time.
exaggerate it.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
That's what happened.
Well, I'm not
This
saying that's not what
particular case.
happened, but he had a valid complaint, and it's the same thing that I've said something about for the last few months. And every time I turn down that street, them trucks are still there. They haven't moved. I mean, it'd be different if they were moving them,
Yeah.
but they're not moved.
Dig into it.
Yes, Homer.
Back in '95, we had a vehicle cleanup for Union City, Ohio. We hauled away over 20 of them. Sham hauled a bunch of them out, and the streets and the properties looked a little better. These were non-moving vehicles. I don't know why we can't get that done today.
We can.
At the
We just have to
expense of who,
institute
though? At the expense of the people that own the vehicles, or at the expense of the city?
Well, it should be the expense of the people that own the
That's what I'm
vehicle.
thinking too, but.
It shouldn't be the city's expense. You left it sit there, you chose not to maintain it, it's your issue.
They was non-licensed vehicles.
Yes.
They were
No.
non-licensed.
Sham just picks them
Junk
up
them
and
and
tries to
money
money
for
for
'em.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of story. If the owner doesn't have the responsibility to license them and keep them up, why,
Have to.
they're just an eyesore. They go. I don't know why we don't have that process
So we work
in
with
place yet.
Johnson's, is that not
If it
something
was-
we can
if
see
it was
for
done
record
before.
service? Can we like call Johnson and say, hey, you interested in kinda?
I don't know why don't
Work
we
with the city.
just do it?
Okay.
Okay, next process.
Anything else? Communications and announcements. Next council meeting, August 19th at 6 PM. Executive session.
Yes.
And
For-
police is having a night out thing down here at Railroad Park right now.
Before, oh,
I don't know, it's an official night out thing, they're cooking hot dogs open to the public. Got a touch of trucks going on down here at Railroad Park this evening, 6 to 8, I think.
Right there on the state line.
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
I'd like to go into an executive session, discuss wages at 6:38.